Right, we are on deck 10 and I am about to give you a room tour of cabin 1087, which is an inside room. And as we go in, as soon as you come through the door, you've got this mirror, which catches me out a little bit. I'm not sure I like it. It's like weird. Just seems to me a bit strange to have a mirror right as you come in, but I guess there's nowhere else they can put it. So let me, before we come into the room properly, let me show you the door itself and what's on the door. So you've got the emergency instructions. It shows you where your muster station is, and obviously it gives you instructions what to do in an emergency. Might be worth taking a few minutes just to read that. It might save your life. Hopefully you won't need it, but you never know. Here we have I am out and about, and on the other side we have I'm busy. Obviously, if you don't want the cabin stewards to disturb you, the I'm busy goes outside. It slots in where you gain entry. Obviously, if you want I'm out and about, they will come in and do the room for you. And I have to say the cabin stewards here have been superb. You've got the extra lock on the door. Make sure if you want a bit more security, shut that when you're in. And you've also got the light switch, which will help when you first come in. We have cupboards on this side, and this is going to be a bit difficult to show you, but we'll do it. I'll detach the camera and show you as I talk. Right, let's take a look in these cupboards then. See if there's going to be enough space for you. So first of all, on the top, you have your life jackets. You won't need those at all, not even for the muster. They tell you not to take those with you. You've then got hangers. They were all provided in there. I dare say if you needed more, you could ask for more. Plenty of space underneath. My small suitcase is in there, but I have no doubts you could get large suitcases in there and wouldn't cause too much hindrance. So there we go, that's the first double wardrobe, and we'll move on and I'll show you the second. Right, what's in this one? There we go. Quite a few drawers and shelves. So bring you down. Obviously I've been using some of these. Oh, there's my Easter egg that was left for me last night. And then you've got a larger shelf there, and coming down you've got 3 drawers. I won't open the top drawer because you don't want to see me smalls, but good sized drawer. And I think overall you're not going to be disappointed with the storage. We haven't finished yet when it comes to that. If we go into the room now, as I say, when I first came in here, overall I was quite happy. I think it's quite a nice calming atmosphere. The colours are quite subtle and I like the art in here. So first of all, you're met with a TV. The TV doesn't move, but it's perfectly fine for whether you're either sat at the desk or if you're in your bed. There's access to a number of channels, although I've not been overly impressed with the selection. But let's face it, you're not in here to watch the telly, are you? What I found far more useful in an inside room is having the camera views front and rear from the ship. Great help this morning for me to see whether it was light or dark. So underneath that you have another shelf. There were some leaflets on there about the spa, but I've used it just to put the remote, but it's quite a good space in there, so it goes back a long way. This is locked, I presume. Oh no, it isn't locked. Do you know, I hadn't even looked in there. I thought it was locked. Extra towels, so I presume they would be to use on the pool deck. But yeah, that's more storage under there that you could utilize. Next to there we have the bin, and moving on round then you can see that next to the bed you've got lamps, 2 pillars with each bed. Although this is set up now as a double, it is 2 singles. When I came into the room they were set up as twin beds, but I did ask for them to be put together. Now the drawer at the side, obviously the lamp you can easily switch on or off from the side. The drawers are a bit strange how they open from that side, but again you can see you've got you've got quite good space in there. One thing I did have an initial problem when I came in is there are no plugs down this side of the room. I presume that there are plugs, but it's just too much hassle to get to them, because I can see wires behind, which obviously go from the lamps. So there'll be a plug behind there somewhere, but I could not pull the beds out, and fortunately I managed to get a lead onto here, and that gave me the length I needed to get the sleep equipment I use to the side of the bed. But just between there is a light switch to control the light, and then same setup this side. The only difference is you've got the telephone. There are numbers on the telephone to dial, either for an emergency, a medical emergency, or reception. Right, as you come back along from the bed, you come to the chair, which has been really comfortable, and the desk. I've been more than happy sat working at this desk. Now you have brochures. These brochures are the ambassador brochures right up to spring 2028. That's the last one there. We've also had, while we've been here, we've had the brochure for 2029 left for us, which I will be perusing. The desk is interesting because it's a good size, but you've got the plugs that you require underneath. So you have a European 2-pin socket, you have 2 UK plugs. The end one here is USB. I'm not sure what this one is. I need to get my glasses and see. I can't read that writing, but I will try and check it out. You've also got the button to control the lights above this desk. On the side, you've got another drawer. As we open that up, you can see your hair dryers in there, and also more storage, which again is good space. Moving on up, you've got the mirror, so good for you ladies doing your makeup. A good size and a nice place to sit and get ready for the evening. Moving on round, we've got the temperature control. Now I've had it on 0. The room's been quite comfortable. It was hot the first day, but I have noticed since that it has been quite a steady cool, but I can't really hear or feel anything coming out of the air conditioning. Let's check now. Nope, can't feel a thing coming out of there. So as we move on round, that's the room done. Let's have a look at the bathroom. There is a warning sign. Again, I'm not sure. I hadn't really noticed that until I've come to do this tour. Warning you about the step at the bottom. Now, the step at the bottom, I would say, and you get these on all of the cruise lines, they can't avoid them. The step on the bottom, I would say, is about 7 inches. So it is quite a step down. The one thing I've noticed here though, unlike other cruise lines, is there's no handrail. There's usually a handrail as you go in. I guess you could use the towel rail instead, but yeah. There's a bin underneath the towels. I have to say the towels have been pretty good quality. There's more flannels by the looks of it under there, and you've got more storage space each side where you could put other items. Moving on up, you've got I was just thinking that's a song by M People, isn't it? Moving on up, you've got the sink, and again you've got storage each side, which is adequate for leaving your toiletries. You've got the glasses, which are great for your toothbrushes. And surprisingly, moving up, you have the shaver points. Not sure what that is. I presume it's for towels. And then moving on down, you've got the toilet. Obviously, close the lid before you flush, and don't flush while you're sat on it. You'll either get a thrill, but more likely you'll lose something. So yeah, don't flush while you're on it. The flush button is there. And then you've got the toilet. There is a toilet brush. It has a white brush, which I don't always like, but it's spotlessly clean. And you can't argue when that's the case. There isn't a lot of room, but it's been okay for me. But as I say, it is a little bit of a squeeze there. Now moving on to the shower. Now let's move on to the shower. This is where things get a bit interesting. First of all, the shower opens towards you, which means it's a little bit tight for room, and it also makes this one does anyway, that noise when it's open to a certain point. Now, starting at the top, you've got the obligatory washing line, always useful, and then you've got the shower, which I have to say has been really good pressure, and also the heat has been superb, so no complaints there at all. You have 2 shelves, so if you brought your own toiletries, you have somewhere to store them. The provided toiletries are Taylor of London, the hair and body wash and the shampoo and conditioner. They're okay, nothing special, but they're okay. Turning on and off. Now it does warn you there obviously to be careful of the temperature. The top one is the temperature control, and you can go clockwise or anti-clockwise to control that. And at the bottom you've got the on-off switch. The shower is quite small. I'll try and stand in it in a minute so you can see, but it is quite small. And I also found this morning that I was sort of paddling in a couple of inches of water. Felt like doing Singing in the Rain. It was very slow to drain away, so just be aware of that. Now, if I can set this up in any way to show you how I look in the shower, dressed of course. Bear with me. It's the best I can do, but here we go. I'll show you how much movement I've got. Oh, so there we go. The door's shut. There is not a lot of room to move, and I have found it quite small, but you still get the job done, and so at the end of the day, that's all that matters. This is an inside cabin, and at the end of the day, I think it represents fantastic value for money. So hats off to Ambassador. They do a really, really good job looking after their solos as well, particularly for the shorter cruises. The room has given me everything I needed. The bed has been so comfortable, I want to take it home with me, and the bedding is really comfortable. So I've got absolutely no complaints, and I'm sure you won't have either. So I hope you've enjoyed this tour. It's not been as smooth as I would like. Obviously we usually do them as a pair, and so it's been quite hard doing it and filming at the same time. But thank you for watching. If you haven't already, please consider subscribing. We're a small channel trying to grow, and it really does help us out. Also hit that like button if you found the video useful, and of course the bell notification if you'd like to see our future videos. We have got quite a bit more to come on Ambassador. Okay, thanks very much for watching, everybody. A big shout out to our channel members. Love you, and thank you for your additional support. Take care, everyone. Bye.